All right, Rocket Nation, one more home game at Rocket Stadium, and Bethlehem comes to town, or Bethlehem is the way they pronounce it. We call it the City of David around here. And Bethlehem comes in at 4-7, and you know, I'm glad we're playing them on the football field, and this is not an academic bowl because their ACT is, I think the average is 24 out of the school. 100% of the kids in the school go to college, and the tuition's over $7,000. So let's beat them on the football field.
Yeah, definitely. They get to pick theirs, but we'll take them in anything that they want to go in. We'll take that challenge here.
That's right. They pull their students from 6 counties.
Yeah.
So we pull from one, as far as I know, unless you're doing a better job recruiting than I know.
We have a bunch of cities.
Yeah, a bunch of cities. Toulouse, Sheridan. Yeah, I forgot about that. Mattoon. Anyway, we are headed into the second round of the playoffs, the regional semifinals of the first region Class A. We've been here quite often, but this is a team that has knocked us out of the playoffs. We want to be, what, 1-0 every week, and this team has made us go home at 0-1 3 times. We've played them 4 times in the history of the series, and last year was the only time that we beat this team, and we want to take care of business, I'm sure, early on that.
Yeah, we want to continue building on that success for sure. And, you know, the time before that, we had the big lead on them. That's where we gave up that big lead in the fourth quarter. So we definitely want to get out fast and jump on them and finish the game from the jump. We don't want to give them any glimmer of hope or feel like they can come out and play with us. We want to make sure that they know that we're the big dogs, and it's the kids coming out and playing. And I think that we've had a great week of practice, and they'll come out and start fast and finish fast.
Mm-hmm. This team, Coach Courtney, I'm sure you've looked at them on film. On paper, they haven't beaten anybody, but you just can't discount this team.
Yeah, absolutely not, Chris. They're a very capable offense team, play really hard, physical, and they have some pieces. They can put together some good series on offense and just maybe not put together the full games that they'd like to, but definitely a very capable football team.
The quarterback has thrown for over 1,700 yards, and the running back has run for over 1,000, so they do have some weapons there. And a couple of their receivers, I think, are right around 600 yards. So what's the plan?
Stop them.
Stop. It's so far so good. We've been doing pretty good the last few weeks of stopping anybody. And this team throws the ball a lot.
Yeah, they can throw it around. Number one coming out, though, like always, we want to come out and be physical and make them throw it. You know, once you can be physical with the team and stop the run, then it becomes easier to stop the pass. So we'll come out, no matter who we play, that's the number one goal. Can we stop the run? And then from there, everything gets easier.
As I mentioned on paper, they've beaten Shawnee. It's a team right there around Louisville, and that Shawnee hasn't won a game. They've beaten Caverna, which hasn't won a game on the field, and they beat, of course, Fulton County last week and Fort Knox, and both of those teams have 4 wins. But we've seen those guys either in person or on film. And Coach Thompson, is this a team? What worries you about this team?
They play hard. They're not going to come out and just hand it to us. They're going to force us to beat them, and it's not necessarily a concern of mine, but a team that plays hard, if you give them that hope that we talked about just a few minutes ago, they can find themselves in a game at the end. So we want to make sure we come out and shut that down and take care of things early and often.
Well, they shut Fulton County down last week. Fulton County had 2 points on a safety. It's the only thing they put on the scoreboard, and Bethlehem scored 21 points.
Yeah, and you go back and look at the film. You see Fulton County resort back to their past where they can't put a full game together. You know, turnovers and penalties and silly stuff like that happening. So I don't know that they saw Fulton County's best shot, but you know, either way it goes, they beat them, and this is where we're at. So,
and we thought they had Fulton County may have had a shot at them going up there.
I really did.
That's a tough place to play. Yeah. We've been up there, and in some ways, I feel like we've taken a little bit out of their home field playbook in the way Crittenden County's a tough place to play too, and it's getting tougher.
Yeah. It's definitely modeled after that. You know, the fans are right there on you. They're loud. The music, they play good music all the time, and just keep those loud, crazy fans in the game. So yeah, it was kind of modeled after that. You know, they've ended our season how many times before?
3 times.
3 times, you know, and 2 in a row before that, just to see that these guys have seen that atmosphere, and you know, we kind of modeled in it and taken it to another level, I think.
When you talk about good music, we have a good segment at the end of the program today. It's been election week, so I've been a little bit tied up with other things around the newsroom, but in order to fill this void at the end of the show, I've put together a lengthier post-game type deal with all the kids. Well, some clips during the game, but then we've got some guys. I didn't know how talented some of your guys are on the sideline. You know, they were serenading the camera, and you'll be sure and want to watch till the very end today, and you'll see what the little boy choir is capable of doing.
I think I caught some of that on my right ear, you know, where I'm not covered by the headset.
And I even heard, I don't know this, and I can't prove it, I heard there were some song requests going up to the booth. Even I don't know how they were getting them there. I don't know if somebody had a cell phone. Yeah. but when you're beating somebody 63-0, it's hard to stay focused on the game.
Yeah, but I watch those guys, and I tell them, you know, when after you finish the game, you become the best cheerleader over here. You become the best teammate, the best, and they do that.
And they do.
They're excited for the young guys to make plays, and they're excited for them to keep the other team out of the end zone and hold on to shutouts. And they're there for them. You know, their coach when they come off, and you know, Hunter's taking quarterbacks, coaching them up and what they can do, and same with Gavin defensively. So they are having fun, but at the same time they're being leaders as well.
Well, as we mentioned, that scored Bethlehem 21, Fulton County 2. Also in the first region last week, Russellville beat Fort Knox 35-13. That game was played at Russellville. So Russellville this week will go to Campbellsville, who had the bye last week. Over in Region 2, of course, it's getting pretty close to us seeing some of these guys over in Region 2. If we keep winning, Frankfort had a bye. Ludlow beat Holy Cross 45-34, and Kentucky Country Day beat Bellevue 36-0. And then, of course, Mr. Beechwood had a bye, and that's exactly what we need is some of these good teams not playing. And we're going to scroll some more of these matchup scores from last week on the board here and let you look at those, and then talk a little bit about these matchups in the coming week. Russellville at Campbellsville, we've talked a little bit about this before, but it'd be nice if they could go up there and really, if not win, which would give us home field advantage, at least go up there and beat them up a little bit and make it difficult.
Yeah, we definitely want them to go up there and make them play for sure. But, you know, I think Russellville, if they can put a game together, they can be in there with Campbellsville, but they got to come out and play to their full capability. And I think they showed a little bit of that against us, and I think if they do that against Campbellsville, they might be surprised. We definitely want that home field in the third round.
It would be nice.
It'd be great to stay at home for another round.
Yeah. Of course, we had them here last year, and it didn't turn out too good. Maybe we need to travel.
Hey, it's whatever. We'll play them wherever.
It's about a 3-hour trip up there to Taylor County. And, of course, that's kind of like a homecoming for you. Yeah. Of course, you played football there.
I did. It's the dead center of the state.
Yeah.
It's right there on Campbellsville University's campus. Right there's a mark that says dead center of the state. It's pretty cool.
We don't want to get too far ahead into the future. We still have Bethlehem on tap for this week, and again, that's a team we want to be careful with. Let's talk a little bit about personnel-wise and what Coach Courtney, your guys, I know up front have just put a lot of pressure on quarterbacks. Is that part of the game plan? And who's the guy we're looking to this week to really make something happen and get that quarterback on the move?
No, I think it's the same guys that we've seen throughout the year. I mean, I expect Sean and Lathan to both be very big down there. And they're explosive and speedy guys. And Riley Gobin and Brock Langston both come in there and do a good job just doing their job as well. So the defensive line, it won't be any different. The guys, we hopefully to get the same thing we've been getting out of those D-linemen.
Gosh, Lathan Easley and Sean O'Leary are just, right now, I don't remember us having two guys with that kind of strength and quickness that can get back there and really create problems.
Right, yeah, having one, and I was thinking about it earlier this week, having one of those guys really causes you problems because you can double him and do different things to stop him. But when you have two, what do you do as an offense? And you're going to double both of them and then leave So I think, that's a huge advantage to have two guys with that type of motor, with that type of playmaking ability down there on the line.
Mm-hmm. Tyler Boone's a big question. Everybody asks me, is he going to be ready this week? I know we've talked the last few days, maybe set him out another week.
Yeah, it's all about just when we feel comfortable that he can go out and be himself. I don't see him playing this week, but like it's not that he's injured any worse or any. It's just the nature of what his injury is and where he's at. We want him to be able to go in and be himself. So he doesn't injure something else or re-injure that because he's playing differently or running differently or whatever. So I doubt that we see Tyler play this week, but as long as we keep winning, I think we'll see him again this year.
Another question that comes up from time to time. Well, he's on the sideline. He's in street clothes. Why not put him in a uniform in case you need him? But explain that, what the theory behind that is.
Well, if he's there.
If he's hurt, he's hurt.
Yeah, if he's there and available, he's going to find his way on the field, whether he needs to be out there or not. And we just don't want to take that chance. And at the same time, we're very confident in the other guys that we have, and we know that we can pick up what the slack that we have to when he has to sit out with those other guys. They're going to step in there and play big. You got Caden playing in the middle, so that McAllister coming back, so that those other guys can stay where they've been playing and be comfortable with what they're doing, and Caden can play sideline to sideline just like Tyler does. So yeah. We're very confident in those other guys, so you don't have to do that.
Yeah. Coach Courtney, talk a little bit how what that's like to have Caden McAllister back in your arsenal here.
No, it's great to have him back. He's just a physical kid and really has a football mentality. Mm-hmm. And he has since the day we've got him. He's just been, that killer-type mentality that you want as a defensive player. And he's a smart kid, like Coach Thompson said. Mitchell Joyce has kind of filled into his position, done a really good job. And with how things have turned out, with Tyler being on the sideline, to be able to get him back and just stick him right in the middle and feel like that he can do a really good job there. Last week he played a heck of a ball game. Yeah. Coming back, he looked like his old self and really flying around. So it feels good as a defense coordinator, a lot of confidence in those guys.
And Braxton Winders just continues to play well.
Right. Braxton Winders and Gavin both, they're just consistent and do what they do and have really played solid. And then Phillips is another guy that I've had to bring into the mix. And, man, having that depth and when things get bad and you don't miss a beat with those guys, it's big. I feel confident going deep into our linebacking core, and that's a good feeling because we've needed it.
Well, the way they throw the ball around, your secondary may be tested a little bit this week, and we hadn't seen that test the last few weeks.
Absolutely, yeah. They'll definitely take shots downfield. They like their guys on the outside, and they'll try us vertically and take a lot of shots, which is good for us. This time in the playoffs, teams are going to be balanced. You're going to see good teams that can throw the ball, they can run the ball, they can do it all. There's no just this team can just run anymore. I think we're past that where we are now in the playoffs.
It sure doesn't get any easier. And speaking of balance, Coach Thompson, the way I don't know how teams can prepare for what we're throwing at them right now.
Well, we don't want them to prepare. We want to be able to go out and do what we want to do. And that's the game plan every week, to be able to go out there and do what we want to do. We feel like there's things that we're good at, and we're going to do those things every week regardless of what you line up and do to us. We're confident in our guys across the board, in our line up front, and then our signal caller, so.
And you throw that little wrinkle in with him running the football, too,
yeah.
Hunter Boone, the quarterback.
Well, he told me that if I didn't run him, that he was going to do something to me that I wouldn't like. So I didn't want any part of that, so he just calls it now. It's whatever. We just go.
Do something you don't like maybe not show up to practice Thursday.
I don't know. He just said something I don't like, and I didn't want to find out.
Well, there's several guys on that football team. I don't believe I'd want to find out what they had in store for me, because right now we're playing pretty well, pretty aggressive, very physical at times, very quick, and as I said, it's tough. It's got to be tough to prepare for this football team. Looking at what we expect out of Bethlehem, is there anything particular that really concerns you? I know you said they're balanced, they throw the ball downfield, but is there one player or something you say, we've got to stop this guy, or we got to stop this kind of play?
For me?
Either one of you.
Well,
I don't know. Is he qualified to answer?
I said the running back now. Now see what he says. I said we got to stop the running back.
Yeah, me too. The Dillard kid, he's number 28, and he had 200-something yards against Fulton County. He was really rolling. I think they're pretty good up front. They play really hard. They get off the ball well, and I think just that's the first thing we have to take first thing we have to take away.
I saw it, and he's a guy. I was watching some of the film, and he just busts it up the middle and finds a seam and goes.
Yeah, he's not much of a juking, speed back. He's going to run right through you and runs hard. He has enough speed, but he wants to part of the contact. He's a downhill back for sure.
Of course, we've got some pretty guys right there filling the gap, so we can put a stop to some of that.
Right. Yeah. I think a lot of them are up for the task and enjoy that task.
Yeah. Well, I've got the trivia question of the week. Of course, we're not doing the contest anymore, but we do have the trivia question. I think people enjoy that, and they did last week. So Andy has he's thrown one out here now. You've been asking for him to get tough. Here's one, and I don't think you will find this one in the record book. This is going to have to be some of these guys that did this collaborate and come up with the answer. So, name the 5 Rocket football players that have scored at least one 2-point conversion in 3 different seasons. So scored at least one 2-point conversion in 3 different seasons. Now they're not going to get it by doing like we did last week, taking a knee on our 2-point conversions. These guys are going at it. So we'll let you study on that one, and if you have the answer to it, shoot us a text or a Facebook message, or hit us on Twitter. Let us know if you can come up with that. If anybody comes up with that one, we're going to give them a gold rocket star.
Here we go.
Or is a rocket star blue?
I like blue. It's a pretty color.
Are there any other injuries we need to be aware of?
Nothing new.
Nothing new. Just some of the nagging stuff.
Yeah, I think this is the healthiest we've been. Even with T-Bone situation, because again, could T-Bone play? Yes, T-Bone could play, but it's just about the right time with him. And like I said, we're as healthy as we're going to get.
Talk a little bit about the 6:30 start this week. We're going to be 30 minutes early. Explain that.
Bethlehem contacted and wanted to.
They're coming from the Middle East. Yeah. I mean, it's a long way.
They wanted an early start time, and me personally, and even Gaige, because I asked him first what he thought about it before making any decisions. But they wanted to move the game up 30 minutes just so they get their travel time back, because they lose an hour going back, and that's understandable. But we're not big on change, so. We had to think about that, but in the big scheme of things, if we were to win this game and then go to Campbellsville next week, we might want to request that as well. So, if it's something that we would possibly want to do, we want to make sure that we can accommodate for them. So, to get them back early, hopefully we can take care of that.
Take care of it, get a running clock like we did in the second quarter last week, send them on home pretty early.
That's one way to do it. That's one way.
Yeah, this is not unprecedented. I believe one other time when they came here, or maybe it was Country Day or one of them in the past, that we've done the same thing. But because those guys are an hour ahead of us, so it does. And if we go early to Campbellsville, gosh, that'll back it up. It'll be daylight when we start.
Yeah. I don't want to do it. You just changed my mind.
Yeah. Well, we're excited about having this possibly the last home football game of the season. As we said, if Campbellsville wins, we will go there the following week if we win. And we hope everybody comes out, fill that stadium. It's going to be a cool night, but it looks like for now it may be somewhat dry.
I've been told that I'm not allowed to comment on rain anymore, because when I do, well, no matter what the forecast says, it rains.
You're not doing a rain dance.
I'm not saying a word about it. If I get wet, I get wet. I just want y'all to know that it's fine. If y'all don't care about me being miserable in the rain, I'm just not going to speak on it anymore.
Well, I'm tired of the rain. Paper is hard to keep dry in the rain, just like gunpowder is. So we've got a lot of gunpowder, and we're going to bring it to bear this week against Bethlehem. Don't forget, stick around here because you want to see the end of the show. It's a little extended period, but it's some pretty interesting clips. Hope you enjoy, and we'll see you at Rocket Stadium, 6:30 this week.
everything you want. Hey girl, let me talk.
That is the conclusion to the football game, folks.
Never let you go. Give you all my all,
Number 6 in the state, Crittenden County Rockets 63.
I could be.
The Vernon Colonel 0.